Just want to remind everyone that celebration of being Filipino does not end here today. We got to carry that everywhere we go. We got to carry that throughout the year.
Spark, Connect, and Empower is a movement born in San Francisco to engender love and passion for Filipino heritage and culture among Filipino Americans. In the process, connecting them and empowering them as individuals and collectively as a community.
Pinoy ako! Proud ako! Pinoy ako! Proud ako! Pinoy ako! Proud ako! Pinoy ako! Proud ako! Spark, connect, empower, Pinoy 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 ako! Listen, Phil, I'm to the next generation. Millennials, you are the future of the nation. Embrace your past, be proud of who you are. Spark, ignite your pride and curiosity. Connect with one another and with your ancestry. Empower, be the forefront of the community. Be proud of who you are. Pinay ako, taas noo, pagmamalaki ko sa buong mundo. Pinoy ako, at proud ako. I'm proud to be who I am. I'm proud to be a Pinoy. Pinoy ako, proud ako. Be proud of your race and your identity. Be vanguards of your culture and heritage you'll see. Come and belong, stand tall, then you'll know. It's fun, oh so fun to be a Filipino. But diverse, we are many but united. Be proud, shout it out and show we're not divided. Behold the Filipino spirit that's in you. Pinay ako, taas noo, mamalaki ko sa buong mundo. Pinoy ako, at proud ako. I'm proud to be who I am. I'm proud to be a Pinoy. Pinoy ako, proud ako. All it takes is a spark to connect and empower nation building beyond the borders. Come and celebrate who we are. Pinay ako, taas noo, pagmamalaki ko sa buong mundo. Pinoy ako, at proud ako. I'm proud to be who I am. Yes! Pinay ako, taas noo, pagmamalaki ko sa buong mundo. Pinoy ako, at proud ako. I'm proud to be who I am. I'm proud to be a Pinoy. I'm proud to be who I am. Yes, I'm proud. I'm proud to be who I am. So proud. I'm proud to be who I am. I'm proud to be a Pinoy. Pinoy ako! Proud ako!
From San Francisco, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, mga kababayan. And since we know that we are broadcasted or we can be seen in other parts of the world, so for all Filipinos, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening po sa inyong lahat. And welcome again sa Tanong ni CONGEN, where we are able to ask your questions to our consuls and officers of the Republic of the Philippines. So for today po, we're most grateful and we're very appreciative that the handsome Consul General of Los Angeles allowed himself to guest here and inform us, apprise us of the situation in terms of Los Angeles and the Consulate General, so that the public may know and that his constituents also would know and to be able to avail of their services in the most safe and efficient way. So let me introduce po our special guest for today. His name obviously you know already, and I said handsome earlier, and later on when you see his face, I don't think you cannot agree more with me po. No? So si Consul General Adelio Cruz po is actually a career diplomat, a career officer of the Department of Foreign Affairs, and has been a public servant doing diplomacy for the last 25 years. But prior to his arrival in Los Angeles, in July 2016, Consul General Cruz actually served in various diplomatic and consular positions. Let me just name a few. He was in Chicago as vice consul, then consul, in 1997 to 2003, and then he was in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, as first secretary and consul, then first secretary and consul general in December 2009 to 2010 as Minister and Consul General. No? In Xiamen, China also, he was the Consul General from 2011 to November 2013. And finally, before coming here, he was the Chargé d'Affaires in Libya. I think his various postings will tell you how experienced as a diplomat CONGEN Adel Cruz is, and also in terms of his ability to work under pressure. Libya, for one, he was there in the most critical part of that nation's history, and so you can imagine the threat that he went through day in day out, when he was there. So for that impact, for his very invaluable service, Consul General Adel Cruz was in fact conferred Gawad Mabini Award with the rank of Dakilang Kamanong by President Rodrigo Roa Duterte on September 13, 2017. And this is for his efforts in facilitating the mass repatriation of more than 5,800 overseas Filipino workers from Libya between the years of 2014 to 2016. You can just imagine the hardship, the difficulties that this CONGEN went through, in terms of helping other Filipinos who were also distressed, and I think that speaks a lot. So even in the department, he has also served in various capacities. He was also involved in protocol and state visits, and he was also with the American Affairs. And while he is here in Los Angeles, he has done a lot. And for his works in Los Angeles now, in terms of community, in terms of consular services, in terms of diplomacy, he has consistently earned outstanding ratings from the ambassador from Washington, D.C. And in fact, among his accomplishments when he assumed office in Los Angeles was, for example, the establishment of the Philippine Overseas Labor Office, or the POLO office. They never had this in the past, but now they have it in the West Coast. And we too, from San Francisco, are also benefiting from that. And he has also established the Social Security office within the consulate, as well as the various innovations that he has done within the consulate. And in terms also of the community, I think he did a lot of work in his involvement in terms of uniting the various Filipino-American chambers of commerce in his area. So, but more important than all those accomplishments I mentioned, his most important job is really being a father and a husband. So CONGEN Adel is married to Miss Catherine Amon Cruz, and he is a father to Christian Nathan, Aaron Matthew, and Angeline Nicole. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's acknowledge and recognize Consul General Adel Cruz. Good morning, Adel.
Good morning, sir. It's really a privilege to be part of your Tanong ni CONGEN. We've been monitoring and watching with fervor all your previous episodes, and it's really an honor to be here with you today. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Congen Adele, and we're also most grateful. No? And Congen, if you're okay, we'll shoot the questions to you now from our listeners. Is that okay?
Sige po. Opo.
Ay,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Congen, ang unang tanong ng mga kababayan natin is the Consulate General in Los Angeles open? Bukas po ba kayo sa pagbibigay ng serbisyo, Congen? Alam namin magulo yung COVID dyan, ano? Maraming kaso at nag-aalala po kami sa inyo. So maybe you can give us an update on that also.
Salamat po, CONGEN. Right now, the Philippine Consulate is open, and it remained open since June 14.
Wow.
For about 12 weeks po, we had a lockdown as ordered by Mayor Garcetti, the mayor of Los Angeles. But knowing that we needed to serve our kababayans, we have 1.3 million kababayans under our jurisdiction. So we had to open beginning June 14, and we are open actually every day, Monday to Friday, from 9 till 3. However, because of the influx of applications, we are seriously considering beginning September 21, we will now be open from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. for the public.
Wow. Congen, Adele, pag sinabi niyo pong bukas, lahat po ba ng serbisyo ng consular na binibigay niyo ngayon, open po lahat ng serbisyo?
Yes, Congen Henry, bukas po. So we have the passport application, the renewals. We have the consular notarization of documents. Our dual citizenship, we do it po twice a day. Social security services, our labor offices are open. In fact, our trade and tourism offices are also open. Civil registry for reports of births, reports of deaths, reports of marriages. Pati po pagbigay ng visa for foreign nationals who would like to travel to the Philippines. And of course, the issuance of travel documents for emergency cases ng mga kababayan po natin. So we are basically operating with full consular services.
Wow, amazing. And ito pong mga serbisyo po ba, do you do this strictly by appointment or you also allow walk-in applicants?
Sir, buti na tanong po ninyo yan. We would like to share po with the public that right now, we do not accept po walk-in applicants because everything po is done by appointment. And makikita naman po sa website namin, those who would need urgent assistance, they could always send their requests sa aming website po. Sir, with your permission, may I share it with our public?
Yes, Congen. Please, ano yung website po ninyo, how people can reach you?
Salamat po. It's www.philippineconsulateLA.org. Ulitin ko po, www.philippineconsulateLA.org. So, mahirap po kasi yung pagtanggap ng mga walk-in. It will be unfair naman po doon sa mga nagpa-schedule, especially those who will be driving or flying in from other states. So, we wish to ask for the understanding po of our kababayans. I understand, sir, all the other consulates, ganun din po, di ba? Bawal na po ang walk-in, everything po by appointment. Ayan.
I confirm, tama po, Congen, Adele, by appointment din po sa San Francisco. And other posts, I understand. Kung nabanggit niyo po yung emergency, pwede naman din po kayo, halimbawa kung may emergency case, pwede rin po kayong tawagan, Congen, ano?
Oh, yes, sir. Pwede rin po kaming tawagan. In fact, in a few minutes, I'll give you my hotline. We have 3 emergency numbers po. Now, before I give the 3 numbers, we have received cases po, especially from our kababayans who were offloaded sa LAX. Hindi po nila alam, they needed additional documentation. So, itong mga kasong ganito, we accommodate po and we assist them actually.
Mhm.
So these are the only walk-in cases that we actually accept. No? Ito po yung aming trunk line. It's 213-639-0980. So ulitin ko po, 213-639-0980. This is our trunk line. So ang ibig sabihin po, only during office hours. And
Mhm.
then, ang aming emergency hotlines po, meron po kaming dalawa. This is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Parang katulad din po sa inyo. No?
Opo.
Ang number po namin is 213-268-9990. And then the
Mm.
other one is 213-269-7852. Ulitin ko po, these are our emergency numbers, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pero ang tanging pakiusap ko lamang po, as I said, emergency numbers po. So sana naman po wag kayong tatawag ng alauna ng madaling araw para lang humingi ng appointment or magtanong po ng passport requirements. No? Yun po. Thank you, sir.
Maraming salamat mga kababayan. So narinig po ninyo si Congen Andel. Ito po yung mga numero na pwede nyong tawagan for emergency, and then on a daytime basis also yung kanilang trunk line and also the website. No?
Yes, sir.
Congen Andel, may nabanggit ka na so may mga Pilipino na sumakay sa ibang parte ng Amerika tapos na-offload dyan sa Los Angeles dahil kulang yung kanilang mga dokumento. Tama po ba?
Opo, lalong-lalo na po ngayon with our current restrictions. Akala po kasi ng ating mga kababayan na tuloy pa rin po yung ating balikbayan visa privilege. And we would like to inform everyone, sa ngayon po kasi because of the COVID pandemic, only Filipinos and dual citizens are allowed to enter the Philippines. Pero kung kayo po ay Filipino or dual citizen, you may bring your spouse, a foreign national, your minor child, or your parents. No? Pero kinakailangan po nilang kumuha ng visa dito po sa consulate. And you need to show proof of relationship. So yung iba po, lilipad, akala po nila ay porket magkasama sila, ay pwede na, no? And then they are not allowed to board. So that's when they come over to the consulate po to apply for the appropriate visas.
Yeah. Marami po ba kayong mga kaso na katulad niyan?
On the average po, we have about siguro 8 to 10 a day. Ayan.
Mga 8 to 10 po.
Yes, sir.
Pwede na pala kayo magbukas ng unit sa airport.
And then karamihan po ng mga dual, ang dala lamang po nila ay mga photocopies, which also is not accepted by our immigration. So you need to bring either the original dual certificate documents, dual citizenship documents, or a certified true copy of your dual citizenship documents. Ayan.
Nako, salamat po, Congen, for that announcement because it's true, yung nagbanggit yung mga requirements is not just for Philippine Americans in Los Angeles, but really US-wide, even outside of the United States. No? So, mga kababayan, narinig po ninyo si Congen Adel. Please, hopefully, you will be remind yourselves po of the requirements, no, yung changes na nabanggit ni Congen Adel so that yung pong ating paglipad, if necessary, going back, smooth at wala pong problema. So, thank you for that, Congen. Congen, so may mga tao po na pumupunta sa consulate ngayon for your services. Meron po ba kayong mga bagong procedure or safety measures to protect yourselves and your customers or your constituents?
Opo, thank you po for asking, sir. Actually, we call it the new normal. No, we call it the new normal, and I believe it's also being implemented in other consulates. So, ang kinakailangan po bago kayo pumunta dito ay una-una, make sure that you're healthy. No, if you're feeling weak or sick, or medyo mataas po ang inyong temperature, please make it a point na wag po muna kayong pumunta ng consulate. So ang ginagawa po namin dito, lahat po ng papasok kinakailangan may face mask, okay, or face covering. So no mask, no entry. And then we also highly recommend po that pagpunta po ninyo sa consulate on your scheduled appointment, please make sure that you have all the necessary requirements sa inyong application. Okay? And then, kung kayo man po ay pupunta dito, please bear in mind that we are practicing social distancing, so we have very limited seats. Ang pwede po lamang namin tanggapin ay yung aplikante mismo. So, maaari na pong maghintay sa lobby or sa labas ng building ang inyong kasama kung may nag-drive po para sa inyo. But obviously, with people, with differently abled people, ika nga, if you need assistance, lalo na po kung naka-wheelchair kayo, we will of course accept and allow your accompaniment. Now, we also advise po people to come on time, on the dot, and ito po, mahalaga po ito. Marami yung nagagalit dito. Bring your own pen. Bring your own ball pen po, because ayaw po namin, kami po ang maging dahilan, baka mahawa po kayo, gumamit po kayo ng common ball pen, and then baka sabihin po ninyo sa consulate po kayo nahawa. No, so please bring your own pen. We have several pens, we disinfect them, pero mas mabuti na rin po magdala po kayo ng sarili ng pen. Alright? And then ganun din po, dahil we still cannot accept credit cards, please bring cash in the exact amount, no? Tapos we also would like to advise, sir, that ang mga notarials po namin, yung mga power of attorneys and the like, are sent out by mail. Hindi na po pwedeng hintayin para tuloy-tuloy po ang daloy ng mga tao sa konsulado, no? Tapos yung civil registry, reports of birth, reports of death, reports of death, marriage, no, also by mail po. So please bring a self-addressed stamped envelope para dun po namin ilalagay ang yung mga notarized documents, and then we will mail it back to you. Ang passports po also by mail na rin, and we make sure naman po as soon as the diplomatic pouch arrives, the batch of passports are received, are immediately sent out naman po by mail. Tapos ang isa pa pong pinakamahalaga ay kapag pumapasok po dito sa consulate, they are tested po, no? Ang temperature nila is tested, and if it's really a high temperature, we have 2 other temperature gauges to make sure that may sakit nga o wala yung tao. Yan. And then we also request them po to register sa aming, we have a health link, no? So it will be easy to establish contact tracing. Kung sakali man po may, for whatever reason, God forbid, a COVID positive would appear at the consulate, we can immediately inform the people who visited the consulate that day to have themselves checked out po. Yeah. So these are our new normal procedures po.
And you mentioned the contact tracing kayo, so you're doing that as well, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow, ang galing. Do they have to be in the face mask all the time they are in your building?
Yes, sir. Actually, hindi mo papapasok ng building kung walang face mask.
Wow. Okay. And as you mentioned, it's for their own protection, no?
Yes, sir.
So, Congen, yung po bang mabalik po ako doon sa appointment, meron po bang special process para sa isang aplikante para makagawa ng appointment? Pwede niyo po bang i-describe sa amin how do they make an appointment for the services?
Okay, thank you, sir. So again, you visit po our website, philippineconsulatela.org, and then doon po sa website na yun, you will be given different choices, links, if you want to apply for a passport appointment, dual citizenship, if you want to file for a notarial service, report of birth, or visa. So mamimili po sila. Tulad po doon sa inyong website, it's very, very user-friendly. No? And then they wait for confirmation if their appointment schedule is already confirmed. And with that, sir, I'd also like to take this opportunity po to appeal to our kababayans that just 2.5 weeks ago, in a span of 2.5 weeks, we received over 2,800 applications for dual citizenship. And with that, ubos na po ang aming slots until December.
Wow.
So we had to suspend our dual citizenship appointment schedule because punong-puno na po. In fact, we have no choice but to open every Saturday para lamang po ma-accommodate yung libo-libong mga tao na nag-apply. And ilan lamang po kami dito sa consulate, we have to evaluate each and every application. So maghintay na lamang po sila kung sakaling kayo po ay nag-submit ng dual citizenship documents ninyo. It will take us about 10 to 14 days to review dahil mahigit 1,000 po ang nauna sa inyo. Ayan. Wag po sana sila magagalit because first come, first serve po tayo dito. And if I may, sir, I also know that you share this sentiment. Kung sakaling tumatawag po ang mga kababayan natin sa ating mga konsulado at hindi po kayo nasagot, hindi po ibig sabihin na hindi po kami sumasagot ng telepono. Ang ibig sabihin lamang po noon, all the phone lines are engaged. So at any given time, we know that there are over 100 phone calls directed to the consulate. And we have 5 people online full-time answering phone calls. So if all 5 lines are engaged, obviously hindi po kayo masasagot. Kaya wag po sana kayong magagalit at wag po ninyong iisipin na ang mga konsulado po dito sa Amerika ay hindi po sumasagot. Sumasagot po kami. It's just that the lines are engaged. So mas maganda nga po mag-email na lamang eh. Kasi kahit ako po, when I call the trunk line, I know it's engaged. Hindi mo ako makakapasok. So it's better to send a message, and we always endeavor to answer and reply to all emails sent to the consulate.
Actually, Congen, salamat sa iyo for making that clarification because yung last point po na nabanggit ninyo tungkol sa pagtawag, I think it is a reality that we all faced here, not dyan, hindi lang po sa LA, ganyan din po ang sitwasyon namin sa San Francisco. I understand yan din po ang situation sa Washington, D.C., New York, and Chicago. No? And I think just to add to what you mentioned, Congen, when you look at the big picture, we have about 4 million Filipino Americans, and a large chunk of that are really balikbayans or dual. And because of the lockdown, so many of these people who used to enter without visa and without being dual, now they cannot do that. And we know and we can assume that it's a big number. So yung big number na po niyan, suddenly may surge, they're calling, and we understand and we're very sympathetic po, and that's why we're mobilizing. Just like Los Angeles, kayo po, I'm sure you have really mobilized, and as you mentioned, you're even considering Saturday, you have 24 hours. Statistically lang po and scientifically, because of the disparity in terms of the available numbers and people, as opposed to the big number of people wanting to call, I think we will all have this concern. And thank you, Congen Adel, for having the courage to tell the truth. No? And when you say that, you're speaking on behalf of all of us. the various consulates. And thank you for being our spokesman in that regard. So thank you. So
Sana po maintindihan nila.
oo nga po, I join you po and in praying and praying for the understanding and patience of our constituents. So thank you for me personally, I'm grateful. So so Conjen Adel, kumusta naman po yung other operations ninyo, yung community relations nyo? Ngayon hindi kayo makapag-meeting because I see in what you have accomplished, you're very engaged with the community. Naapektuhan po ba ito ng pandemic rin?
Totoo po yan, sir. In fact, nung mga nakaraang taon, we are used to engaging and attending Filipino-American events. We have over 500 registered Filipino-American organizations po in LA County alone. No? So that means all our weekends were already engaged, fully booked. Sa ngayon, everything po is done by Zoom, which is actually good and safe. We are still actively engaging po, of course, the local government, and then the different organizations. So as much as we can, we still attend po yung kanilang mga events. And I would like to thank po our kababayans here in Southern California and the other parts under our jurisdiction, Southern Nevada and Arizona. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsuporta sa konsulado. Without you, we would not be this effective po. Thank you very much for all your support. Napakabait po ng mga tao dito sa aming jurisdiction, sir.
Nice to know. Conjen, ano po ba, so you're not just taking care of Los Angeles, no? Ano po ba yung mga jurisdiction ng Los Angeles, Conjen?
Sir, ang iba pong jurisdiction namin is Southern Nevada, which covers Las Vegas, and the whole of Arizona.
Wow.
Dati po, hawak po namin ng New Mexico at Texas, pero mabuti naman po at nabukas na tayo ng consulate sa Houston under Consul General Gerald Santos. So napunta na po sa kanya ang New Mexico and Texas.
Wow. And pwede niyo ho ba kaming bigyan ng idea kung ilang Pilipino po ang nasa jurisdiction ninyo?
Our estimate po is 1.3 million Filipinos, sir.
Wow. So you must be the biggest, no, in terms of the load and the burden. So, Conjen, tungkol naman po sa consular outreach, I know every year you have various consular on wheels or consular outreach. Pero with the pandemic po, how are you doing this or ano po ang naging epekto nito sa inyo?
Buti sir, natanong niyo yan. No? Actually, we had plans of extending consular outreach missions sa iba't ibang lugar as San Diego, Bakersfield, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. No? Unfortunately po, dahil sa pandemic, we had to limit and actually suspend all consular outreach programs. Kaya kung may mga kababayan po tayo na kailangan ng serbisyo, they have to understand because of our very limited resources, sila na lamang po ang pumunta dito sa LA para matugunan naman po namin ang matulungan natin. No? I understand sa San Francisco, ganun din po sir, no? Very limited na po ang consular outreach ninyo.
Nako, thank you, Conjen. Pareho po tayo ng sitwasyon and I believe it's the same situation din po sa all the consulates in the mainland, including Chicago, New York, and Washington, D.C. In fact, we were compelled because of the pandemic to stop our consular outreach and had to cancel the rest of our consular outreach. No? Principally because obviously of the pandemic and the risk and that it has on the safety not just of our staff na magta-travel but also on the people who will be coming to the event. So to protect the people and para hindi naman din po tayo pasaway sa effort ng government to prevent the spread of the virus, we just like Los Angeles po, we took that direction of stopping the consular outreach for the rest of the year. But we continue to evaluate if we will do this beginning of the year next year po. But in addition to that, you know, Congen, and I'm sure you are also affected because of the pandemic and the impact on the economy. We also had to cut our budget. And I think across the board din po, I believe Los Angeles then 45%, no? Our budget was cut.
45%. Yeah.
Malaki na. And I think people should also understand this is our way of contributing also, so that resources could be allocated to help others, no? So this is the effort of the national government in terms of reallocating resources to where they are most needed. So hopefully, katulad yung Congen, kami rin po nagsusumamo at sa ating mga constituents doon sa mga far-flung areas for their patience and understanding. And in a sense, this is also their indirect contribution to preventing the virus and keeping all of us safe. so hopefully we can start again on that. So, Congen, meron po ba kayong mga programa or initiative na gusto ninyong ipaabot sa ating sa inyong constituents?
Actually, sir, marami po, no? And despite the ongoing lockdown, and now that we've moved on to the social media, marami po tayong ginagawa ngayon na different programs that we can still reach out to the Filipino-American community. With your permission, sir, we have what we call the gastro diplomacy. No?
Wow.
Linggo, marami po kaming ipapamahagi na projects entitled Lutong Bahay, an online Filipino food traditions campaign. And this is aimed at creating more mainstream awareness of Philippine culinary culture through videos posted on social media platforms. No? And because of this, we are also able to promote and support our local Filipino and Filipino-American small and medium-scale enterprises. Yan. Ang pitch ko po kasi palagi dito bago po tayo mamili o sumuporta ng mga negosyo ng ibang lahi, yung mga kababayan na muna natin na may negosyo ang suportahan natin. Di ba? Ayan. Opo. Sir, we're also promoting the Filipino cinema.
Wow. Well, you're Hollywood. No? Very apropos.
Opo. Actually, we're partnering with a film organization called San Diego Filipino Cinema for a cultural project dubbed Cine Cuento Project and Exhibition. This will be scheduled po in San Diego County throughout the whole of November this coming year. We are hoping po to present works by Filipino filmmakers from the 70s to the present, no? And we're also hoping to promote telenovelas and then online film screenings. Hopefully we can have a live event featuring Filipino spoken word artists, DJs, and then short documentation po and interviews about making the installation and the philosophy behind the Cine Cuento exhibit. This is promoting well-renowned Filipino films po dito sa Southern California.
Wow.
Meron din po.
May mga posters po ba kayo niyan? We can...
sige po. Kung pwede po, we will forward to you the posters as they come para makatulong po kayo sa pag-disseminate nitong project namin na ito.
And also, if you have a video, anything on the
sir.
consulate that you want, we'll show it din po.
Okay, salamat po. Meron din po kaming what we call the entrepreneurship. It is supporting entrepreneurship founder Ana Marie Cruz on her proposed 2020 Global Virtual Retreat entitled Elevating Conscious Leaders and Entrepreneurs in the Diaspora. So this is helping our female kababayans po, no? make a name for themselves despite the ongoing pandemic. So we have a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, and we would like to focus po on our female kababayans to help them.
Ay,
And
wow. Galing.
most of these announcements po are in our website.
Mm.
And yun nga po, if they are interested, they can just simply check and read up, and everything will be updated po.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and well, maybe here we can show the posters, no?
Salamat po, sir. Yes,
Oh,
maraming malaking tulong po yan.
yeah, wow. And you said most of your activities are now in Zoom, the new normal.
The new normal, opo. Kaya we have virtual dinners and virtual toast. So bring your own baon.
That's we're all adjusting to the new
Yes.
normal, Congen. But how is your family naman po, Congen? I hope
Oh,
they're safe and
thank
doing
you, sir. Thank you for asking. They're all doing well. Actually, sir, we live in Arcadia, and one of the big fires ongoing right now is the
well.
Bobcat fire,
Oh,
affecting Monrovia and our own city, Arcadia. Mabuti na lamang po at nasa kabilang dulo kami ng bayan. But we still have ash falls every day. The air quality is not. It's very unhealthy. So we have to wear masks the whole day.
wow.
Sa Arcadia. Yeah. I
Wow.
hope kayo po and the family are okay. You're not affected
Yes,
by
thank you for your concern,
San
Adele.
Francisco.
We're on a similar boat, Adele, in terms of the air quality and the forest fire. So like you, we're also adjusting and adapting and making sure that we are safe. But now that you mentioned the forest fires there, Congen, and I'm sure you are monitoring this, no? Meron po naman bang mga naapektahan o nasaktan ng mga Pilipino dyan sa inyo, sa forest fire?
Well, with God's grace, wala pa naman pong fatality. But I know of several families on a personal level who had to evacuate. Lumipat po sila at nakitira sa kanilang mga kamag-anak. But in terms of loss of life and loss of property, so far we've been lucky naman po at wala pa pong natatanggap na balita ang consulate.
I'm relieved to hear that, but like you, Conjan, we continue to pray for them, no? Our Filipino kababayans, the films, but really all of humanity affected, no? Because this fire does not really discriminate, and
Yes.
and our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with all the people affected, no? So and I'm glad to hear that your family is adjusting to this. So I understand. I saw the picture of your youngest. She finished high school as well, no?
Yes, sir. That's right. And all my kids, they miss Matthew.
Yes, yeah, that's right. That's right. Our
Your
kids
son.
get together.
Yes. Oo.
So
They were actually hoping to, meet up, for the last VIP tour.
all
Unfortunately,
right.
opo,
Yeah.
they were excited to see him again.
Oo nga.
Sayang po. Sayang.
Oo nga. Sayang. Now that you mentioned, naunsa mo yung ating ambassadors tour
Okay.
for this year. But we'll come back next year. And hopefully the kids are in touch so they can share experiences. So I have good memories of your daughter. So
Thank you, sir.
unika iha, no?
Yes, sir. Monica Iha.
And now she's going to college. Congratulations to you. You must be very
Salamat po.
proud and happy parents. And,
Just like you, sir.
yes, we all are. And by the way, I just want to mention to our viewers, Conjan Adel's younger brother, konti lang mas gwapo lang si Adel ng kaunti sa brother niya. Is also with the foreign service, no? So eventually, your family has become a family of diplomats, no? Kailan ka nga when did you pass the foreign service officers exam and join the department, Conjen?
I took the exam, sir, 95, No, I took it 94, passed 95. Took my oath same year. So I started 1995 po. 25 years.
25 years. Wow.
Yes.
Grabe, ang tagal na.
Yes. Oh.
Ang tagal na pala. Time flies.
Sumusunod lang sa yapak ninyo, sir.
But did you take the exam straight from college? Kasi po si Congen Adel is he finished po political science from the
Right.
University of the Philippines, and for a while took some units also at Ateneo Law School, no? But I think Call of Duty pulled him into the service, and Ateneo's laws became our gain in the Foreign Service. So did you work outside pa briefly, or you went straight?
Yes, sir. Actually, nagtrabaho po ako for the US Embassy in Manila. Opo. So after law school, well, I was in law school. May nagsabi po sa akin na may opening sa US Embassy.
Right.
Sinabi ko I wanted to become a working student. And then nung ako'y nakapasok po sa US Embassy as a staff, that's where my eyes were open to the world of diplomacy and foreign service. So, naging kaibigan ko po yung mga consuls doon, and then they they said, why don't you take the Philippine Foreign Service exam? Ayan. Kaya when I took the exam, sabi ko po, kung babagsak, I go back to law school. Kung papasa, I start my career.
Well, I think we know the answer, obviously, and we're happy for you on that. No?
Salamat, sir.
So, yung pala yung nag-develop ng interest mo. So, you never planned for this, no?
Actually, sir, nakita ko lang yung advertisement sa Manila Bulletin, the words from diploma to diplomat. And that inspired me, and yun nga po, with God's grace, pumasa.
Wow. So, wow, that's a nice story, no? And hopefully it should also inspire other Filipinos who want to explore the possibility of a career in the diplomacy. Let me ask you a little personal, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir, of course.
So far, after your 25 years of service, do you have any regrets, or is this something that you are something that you now feel is really a calling for you?
Actually, sir, if I can retrace my actions, bring back time, I will take the FSO exam again and keep taking it until I pass. Kasi hindi po ako nagsisisi. It made me who I am now. It has given my family a lot of blessings. It has given me the opportunity to see the world, serve the country, meet new friends. So I think it's in the calling po eh. And I'd like to actually share this experience with our listeners and share them with your friends and relatives in the Philippines. There is a very exciting career po in the Foreign Service. So kung may mga relatives po kayo fresh from college, those who have been working for 2 to 3 years, please endorse them and recommend them to take the Foreign Service Officers exam po of the DFA. Hindi po kayo magsisisi. Si Congen Henry, I've known him for so many years. He's one of the officers I look up to, respect very much, and through his guidance, I wouldn't be here without him. So, Congen Henry, maraming salamat din po with your help and guidance and support.
Thank you, Congen, for that. But I just want our listeners to also know that Congen Adel actually is of the ambassadorial rank. No? He's a chief of mission already. So technically, he could have chosen an ambassadorial position. But
just like you, sir.
but he chose to be here in LA. In fact, which leads me to the question, another personal question, if you don't mind, Congen. How do you see public service? Is it something that that you are satisfied, or something that you think is worth 25 years of your time. No?
Mhm.
Can you give us a little of your soul, if you can allow us inside your soul and your thoughts in terms of your view of being a public servant?
Well, one thing I will never forget, sir, is the advice given to me by my father before he passed away. You know, he said, "Live a life of simplicity, live a life of humility and dignity, um, live a life in service to others, and then above all, live a life in the service of God." So I guess if you wrap it all up, it's public service as it is. Masarap po yung nakakatulong sa tao na hindi nyo kilala, and the um, bali yung pagpapasalamat nila sa inyo, it's probably the best feeling in the world, no? So kapag may mga natutulungan po kami dito and then they say, paano po kami makakapagpasalamat sa inyo? We always reply by saying, darating din po ang pagkakataon na may hihingi ng tulong sa inyo. Tulungan nyo rin, and that's the way it should go around, di ba? Helping others without expecting anything in return. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. It's very refreshing to listen to you on that, because it will inspire also other public servants as to the commitment and the value of doing public service. And I understand, Congen, despite sometimes you're misjudged or anything, no, but you never stop, right? You
Oh,
keep
yes.
going,
Opo.
right?
Siyempre, people will always say what they want to say and think what they want to think. Basta tayo po, just like you, sir, basta alam natin, malinis ang konsyensya natin, we sleep well at night, and then get ready to work the following day, again, in the service of our kababayans.
Wow, and that's public service po for us. So thank you, Conjen Adel, for that, because obviously you are articulating what other public servants as well, no? And thank you also for standing up for all of us. So, Galing, Conjen, not only were we able to understand your operation at the consulate, and thank you for that, but thank you also for allowing us inside your heart. That gives us a better understanding of the congen, not just as a public servant, but also as a person. And I think that's very critical for our constituents to understand. So many thanks for that, Congen. Congen, are there other thoughts that you want to convey to our listeners? Any final thoughts, any message you want to convey, especially to your constituents in Los Angeles? But it would also be helpful if you can also give message, because your exposure and engagement in the Middle East in terms of the OFWs there, in the context of war and all those conflicts, maybe we would also be grateful if you can also give message to our kababayans who are in that situation there in the Middle East, because you're not new and you're not distant from that. I'm sure when you went here to LA, you brought with you those memories, those thoughts. No? So maybe we can have your thoughts and message for your constituents here, and also for Filipinos outside of the United States and in the archipelago.
Thank you, sir. First of all, my message would be for our kababayans in the Middle East, North Africa. I will continue to pray for your safety, good health, and please be reminded that our Philippine missions there are committed in helping you all in whatever emergency or situation. We have very eligible, hardworking, and dedicated colleagues there in the Middle East and North Africa, and don't hesitate to ask help from them. For our constituents here in Southern Los Angeles, Southern California, Southern Nevada, in Arizona. We know that we are going through this pandemic. Um, it has affected so many lives. The important thing is that you are all safe and healthy. And the important thing is just to survive 2020 and don't lose hope. Um, Help each other out. As I said earlier, kung tayo po ay susuporta ng negosyo, unahin po muna natin ang pagsuporta sa negosyo ng kapwa Pilipino natin. Ganun po tayo magtulungan, ganun po ang ating bayanihan. And lastly, I would like to thank, of course, the leadership of our ambassador, Ambassador Romualdez, for his vision and for his continued commitment in public service. Even if he's one of the best political appointees that we have ever served under, di ba, sir?
Yes, agree.
Our hats off to him. And for our colleagues in other posts, other consuls general, I'd like to thank you for your collective effort also in providing quality service to our kababayans. We hope, sir, that all our consulates will continue to serve our 4 million plus Filipino Americans in the United States, and we are striving our best. For every Filipino that enters the consulate, we would like to treat you like our own father, our own mother, our own brother. I think that's the best way to describe what public service really is. Helping others always, and making sure that when they leave the consulate, they leave with a smile. And always thank po the person above for whatever blessings we receive. No matter what trials that come your way, there's always hope. Never lose hope, and always pray. Thank you, sir.
Wow, thank you, Congen Adel. In fact, my own takeaway, and I will share this with our consulate here in San Francisco, as your mention of being a father, a mother. We put ourselves into the shoes of people that we serve.
Right.
I think that's a very good point, and that's my takeaway. It will be good to, when we do that service, that we put ourselves in their shoes as a father, as a mother, as a sister, as a child. Then we are in a position to understand more and be more compassionate. Thank you for that very good principle.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll bring that home, Congen, and whenever I come across that, I will always remember you for that principle. But I will not leave right now, because as our listeners have found out, Congen Adel's voice is really very nice.
Oh my God.
And I heard him sing before, and I was, you can have a second career with your voice. Maybe, Congen, if this is not too much, give us a sample.
Oh my God.
Give us a sample. I know this is a surprise. I did not forewarn you, but I know how good you are in terms of singing. So I'm very confident. If it's not too much.
Oh my God.
Little snippet.
Nako, sir. Patay tayo dyan. You caught me off guard. Oh. Pwede ba, sir, tumula na lang.
Pero,
sige, sir, sandali, ano kaya kakantahin natin? Ayaw nito. Sandali, sir, ha?
Take your time. 1 or 2 lines. I just want our listener na hindi ka nerdy. You're not a nerd. You're all around. Congen. How I wish na that I have your skills on that.
Okay. Sige, sir.
Okay. See how game? That's foreign service for you.
Oo. Sige, sir. Hindi ka matanggal sa trabaho nito.
No.
Sige po. It's my favorite song. It's called The Nearness of You. The first 4 lines lang po.
Sige po. Sige, Congen.
Okay. It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. There you go, sir. Buhay po kayo.
Ang galing, ang galing. See, instant, no? Walang practice.
Wala.
Oh, and that's foreign service officer. I remember when we took our exam. when
Sir, sa ngalan ng bayan.
yeah, that's right, and it's really this a courage expected of all foreign service officers to adapt and to adjust. It's light, but actually very critical to be a foreign service, right, Adele?
Yes, sir. Pag ako naman nag-host, sir, I will ask you to dance. Magaling po sumayaw si Congen Henry.
For you, Adele, I will do that. For you, Adele. But,
Maraming salamat, sir.
Many
Maraming salamat.
thanks, Adele, and
Thank you.
again, we're most grateful, mga kababayan. Yan po ang ating Consul General from Los Angeles. Very human, a person with a heart po, no, for our constituents and for fellow Filipinos. You heard it straight. We're most grateful that we saw the window of his soul, and we're most grateful. And with his skill, it makes me so proud. And now I'm so eager to say with that, Pinay ako, taas noo, Pinoy ako, proud ako. Thank you very much po. Mabuhay kayo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. More power, sir. More power. Thank you.
Salamat, Adele. Ang galing, Adele.
Maraming beses na kitang nilayasan, iniwanan at ibang pinuntahan. Parang babaeng ang hirap talagang malimutan. Ikaw lamang ang aking laging pinabalikan. Manila, I keep coming back to Manila. Simply
Our online celebration commemorates the 122nd anniversary of the proclamation of Philippine independence. I know, Dom, we are still in a pandemic and times are really tough right now, but that's not stopping us from celebrating our Filipino history, our culture, and our pride. And you know, tonight is the night to also honor the men and women who have really sacrificed so much amid the pandemic, our frontliners.
hinahanap kita Manila, ang ingay mong kay sarap sa tenga, mga
Mabuhay!
naglilipa. And all for a toast. Mga babae mong nagagandahan. Take me back in your arms, Manila, and promise me you'll never let go. Promise me you'll never let go. Manila, Manila, I keep coming back to Manila. Simply ain't no place like Manila. Manila, I'm coming home.
That was a phenomenal performance.
Good morning there in Manila.
Hi, Sir Henry. Kamusta po kayo? We are okay here, and we enjoyed the reception, and then we also want to congratulate you for your celebration of the 122nd Philippine Independence Day anniversary.
And promise me you'll never let go. promise me you'll never.
Ryan Kayabyab and the Ryan Kayabyab Singers, thank you very much.
Now, to cap our program, we wish to leave you with a video prepared by the Philippine Consulate General in San Francisco to honor Filipino frontliners all over the world.
Mabuhay po kayo.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you very much po, and have a good night or have a good morning. Thank you. Good night. Pinoy ako, proud ako.
Ang hirap talagang malimutan.